cars. I said the nonsense here is just... All right, here we go. Back to Roanoke, Virginia. This is Friday night. Did not get a lot of coverage at the time. Did not get a lot of coverage over the weekend. The drive-bys did not focus on this much. Fox News at some point did bring it to people's attention. He's at the historic fire station number 1. In fact, grab soundbite number 2. Let's play Elizabeth Warren first, just to show you. We may even have a little plagiarism going on here. This is well-known Indian squaw, Elizabeth Warren, September of 2011, Andover, Massachusetts, during a talking tour, running for the Senate against Scott Brown.
I hear all this, well, this is class warfare, this is whatever. No, there is nobody in this country who got rich on his own. Nobody. You built a factory out there, good for you, but I want to be clear. You moved your goods to market on the roads the rest of us paid for. You hired workers the rest of us paid to educate. You were safe in your factory because of police forces and fire forces that the rest of us paid for. You didn't have to worry that marauding bands would come and seize everything at your factory and hire someone to protect against this because of the work the rest of us did.
Now, a couple of interesting things about this. Let's look at roads, for example. Which came first? The paved road or the car? Well, which necessitated which? I would submit to you that the car came along and then the government and all of the people that really made this thing work then built the roads. What Obama and Elizabeth Warren want you to believe is that government is the center of everything. Government starts everything, and government doesn't. Government reacts. It was the market that built cars. It was somebody. It was a bunch of people that built cars. It was a bunch of people who invented the assembly line to make them efficiently and quickly. Government had nothing to do with it. And a second point about this is, you know what this really is? This is a bunch of people that don't count. This is a bunch of people with miserable, meaningless lives, lying to themselves, trying to tell themselves that they matter. So you had Mr. Big Factory owner, who is Mr. Big Business guy, who's Mr. Wealthy, in their view. Well, he didn't do it, honey. He couldn't have done it without all of us. We built the roads, and we built the regulations, and we built the stoplights, and we built the trains. Yeah? Well, if you did all that, how come you're sitting there with nothing? If you made it all happen, how come you've got nothing? Well, the rich business guy stole it from me. We're the ones that actually made it all. This is such a crock. This is a bunch of meaningless people who know that their lives don't account for anything, trying to matter, coming up with this ridiculous philosophy that says successful people have not done it on their own. Successful people only exist because of the nameless, faceless, real, true hard. You know, before Marx, there was no such thing as class-driven economics. If that guy had been aborted, we'd have a whole different world today. Now, here's Obama in Roanoke on Friday night.
If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we have that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet, so then all the companies could make money off the internet.
Yeah, well, you know who really invented the internet was the military. It was a DOD project, and Obama hates that. But, folks, look, here he is repeating it, roads and bridges. The roads and bridges came after what was necessary or what made the roads and bridges necessary. They came after that. This is, I'll tell you what, I think it can now be said without equivocation, this man hates this country. Barack Obama is trying to dismantle, brick by brick, the American dream. There's no other way to put this. There's no other way to explain this. He was indoctrinated as a child. His father was a communist, mother was a leftist, sent to prep Ivy League schools where his contempt for the country was reinforced. He moved to Chicago. It was the home of the radical left movement. He hooks up with Ayers and Dorn, Rashid Khalidi. He learns the ruthlessness of Cook County politics. This is what we have as a president, a radical ideologue, ruthless politician who despises the country and the way it was founded and the way in which it became great. He hates it.